Good morning. My name is Todd. I'm an institutional consultant with Greystone Consulting, and for those of you who are unfamiliar with our firm, we are the institutional consulting business for Morgan Stanley. It's been interesting to attend this conference. From my perspective as an investment consultant, I get a view that might be a bit unique from many of those that are involved in the day-to-day of a college and university. And the one thing that really jumps out for me during a lot of these conversations is it can be boiled down to one key point, and that is values alignment. And one of the things that's become clear, again, as I've listened to a lot of the presentations here, is that there's no doubt climate change is an issue. The tough part is how do you take the mission of the organization, whether for a college or a university, and pair that up with climate change. And it's not an obvious fit, right? And from my perspective, that's the one key area that really needs to be focused on and worked on in order for this to be successful. And what I mean by this is that if for another set of clients that we have, let's say it's an environmental fund, for me to have the conversation with the folks at the environmental fund to say, look, every day you're working on environmental issues, there is not a direct fit with your portfolio as it relates to climate change. It's a very easy discussion. It's easy to get the investment committee and the board all on the same page. That is not very obvious when it comes to college and universities. Barnard College spoke yesterday, and I thought it was fantastic. That was the one example that really stood out to me as a very clear value alignment with the portfolio and the mission of the organization, where they were looking at climate deniers, and to me that makes a ton of sense. So the key point I think to really drive home here is that the messaging needs work. It needs to be continually refined in order for this to really work. Once the message is clear, the next question is how do you get all of the key stakeholders really on the same page? And an example of this would be, we have a client, the Dominican Sisters. This is a client of our firm, and they're in the process today of doing a divestment program. And why is it successful? Why are we going down this path with them in such a successful fashion? Well, the mandate came from the Pope, which pretty much means it came from the big guy, okay? Leadership is so important. You have to have leadership. So who in this room is gonna take this back to their institution and provide that Pope-like leadership, right? I can't say that once the focus is clear, implementation is very easy, and I think a lot of these conversations have been around trying to get that focus clear. I think it continues to be of utmost importance because, again, our firm and our competitors in the room are more than happy to help you implement a solution. So from my perspective, again, key points. You need to educate the stakeholders. You need to have a very, very clear message on the values alignment, and you need to have strong leadership. But really appreciate the time here. This has been fascinating, and look forward to continuing the conversation. Thank you.